Hi Gemini, and welcome to your reading for July 2019. My name is Melanie. This is a general reading for Gemini Sun, Moon and Rising sign people. So given it's general, of course, it may or may not resonate, and that's totally fine. Just take what you like and leave the rest. So just diving right in, really. I use 5 cards for a monthly spread. The first card there along the back representing the past and any past energies that may be a factor for this month. You have the Four of Swords. The second card being about the month of July, current issues, current situation. The Three of Cups card. The third card representing possible obstacles to be mindful of. You have the Queen of Coins, otherwise known as the Queen of Pentacles. The fourth card being about what may be useful, helpful tools this month. You have the Ace of Cups. And the outcome card for this month is the Eight of Wands. And that single card there lying down there from a different deck, which I use more like oracle cards. That card is called Waterfall, and that's about release. And I'll be reading specifically about that card at the end of the reading from my little booklet. So let's just dive right in and see if we can make sense of things. So starting with the past and any past energies which somehow are weaving their way in for this month. You have the Four of Swords card. This is a card of needing to rest, needing to recuperate, needing to retreat, have a break. It's a card of peace after a war. There's been a real need to contemplate something, to be in a quiet, passive, still space. You very much needed a break. I really hope you've had one. This card can be associated with grief as well, and kind of grieving something that's lost. It's a very contemplative card of solitude, but of feeling kind of mentally quiet, secure, and kind of organising your ideas pretty well, reviewing your kind of thoughts, renewing yourself, rejuvenating yourself, certainly mentally, being willing to look at your issues and your problems. But yeah, really kind of quite a passive card of needing to rest, really, of needing to just have a break and just renew yourself, replenish yourself in some way, recuperate. Very much a card of recuperation in some way, shape or form. So it looks like you've been needing that, or you've taken that. And here we come into the month of July with different energy. We have the Three of Cups card. This is the lovely card of celebration, real celebration, of coming together with friends and family to celebrate something. It's like a reunion, socializing with community, and having a sense of really good emotional connections with people, and deep emotional connections. It's like a good, happy gathering of people. It's like some sort of group effort is now being celebrated. It's a sense of things, problems ending, sense of victory, things healing, and really just enjoying the pleasures of life now and feeling joyful in that, and sharing that. It's sort of like after the work comes the play, and needing to rest, rest and play between efforts of intense work, and we start off with that Four of Swords card there saying you've needed a rest and you've needed a break, and I hope you have taken one. And here we are going along with a break. There's also a need to, well, certainly this month coming in now, to just enjoy the good things in life, and to celebrate after some hard work or some sort of difficulty has passed. Dream big, enjoy yourself, really revel in celebrating and connecting with other people again this month. The third card along representing what may be an obstacle this month and things to just be mindful of that may be problematic. You have the Queen of Coins or the Queen of Pentacles. So this could actually be a person. Court cards can actually represent people. It could be a earth sign woman, an older woman. It doesn't have to be, of course. The Queen of Pentacles, though, or it could be someone who embodies the energy of this card. Or it could just be the general energy of the card without it necessarily being a person, and just things to be mindful of. But generally the Queen of Coins is, so she's, the coins are to do with earth matters of the soul, earthly, solid, tangible, practical matters like finances, like work, like money, like buildings, things like that. This Queen is about opulence, riches, generosity, luxury, security, dignity, being trustworthy. There's a sense of real abundance with this card. And it's like, for this Queen, all her rewards have paid off, and now she's in a very comfortable position. She's enjoying luxury and opulence. She's quite resourceful. There's a sense of dependability and leadership about this card, of generosity potentially with this card. But what does it mean that this card is in the position of an obstacle this month? I think it's just warning against being too focused and too fixated on earthly possessions, of material things. Whether you're worried about them at all or not, and something's going very, very well, but now you're getting a little bit too caught up in your head, with attachment to money or work or sex or status or reputation, and kind of, is that cutting you off from other things in your life, people in your life, or is that things out of balance in that way, and that there's too much focus on that and not enough focus on your relationships, say, or your other matters of the heart, or the way you're thinking, or your connections to God? Are you seeking kind of is there sort of be careful of being too materialistic this month, I think, and looking for happiness in the wrong places through material means. Maybe you're shopping too much, maybe you're spending too much money, as a reward, I suppose, and to celebrate something, sure, but that's not always a good thing. Actually, it can lead us into some pretty bad places, and that's kind of the wrong way if it's too top heavy in that sense to go about things. On the flip side, this could also be being too restrictive in your money and too conservative in things, and perhaps not you're not letting yourself sort of share the joy or celebrate something or spend some money on yourself. There's potentially too, you're sort of underestimating how good things are, kind of thing. So there's kind of, you could be a swing either way, I think that's saying, with this card. And just to be mindful of that, certainly around practical earthly matters that are tangible, that are probably financial in probably financial matters. The next card along, representing what may be useful and helpful this month, you have the Ace of Cups card. Oh, what a beautiful card! A card of aces are new beginnings, new offerings coming in, the start of something new. Cups are to do with love, feelings, connections, relationships. The Ace of Cups is overflowing with emotions. We can see there that the cup is actually overflowing with water. Water is our emotions, our feelings. So there's a real sense of and potentially too something new and wonderful coming in the emotional realm or in the relationship realm, and it's bringing you like literally tears of joy and happiness. There's new things, potentially fertile new things. There's a sense of real abundance, but a gift from the universe that fills you with love, fills your heart, your soul with joy and happiness. So use that. If something new and wonderful presents itself emotionally or in a relational sense, take it, accept it, be grateful and thankful, and don't, this is kind of the flip side to being too materialistic. Here we have a card that's all about heart, that's all about feelings, it's all about emotions, really happy, positive, calm, joyful, abundant feelings. Revel in this space, revel in this new kind of offering. If something does come in, really embrace that emotional side of you, and feel a sense of, I think this is a reminder to connect yourself to the divine, whatever you believe in terms of a God or spirit or universe. Get back to that. Fill your heart with that sense of absolute, pure, unconditional love that when we really tap into that, when we are still and quiet and meditative, or when we're doing something that gets us in that zone where all we are is that action, that activity, even if that's sitting still, even if we're outside under a tree, and we're staring at some trees, or we're looking at water, or we're with a loved one, or we're working on a hobby, or we're just in this zone, or we're exercising or whatever, where we feel completely in tune, we can feel completely connected. Find those places this month and connect back to that, connect back to the gift and the offering that is. To fill yourself up, to fill your emotional cup. I think this is really encouraging you to do that this month. It looks like you've taken some rest and you've really needed some time out. You need to, step into joy and celebration this month, and you need to be filling your emotional cup back up. Focus less on the practical day-to-day stuff. Focus on joy. Wonderful stuff. Finally, the outcome card for the month. Oh, it just makes me so happy thinking about that. It's the Eight of Wands card. This is a card of wands are to do with fire energy, with creativity, with passions, with inspired things, with action. The Eight of Wands can relate to a few things. It can relate to being busy, but good busy. Lots of quick action. There's a fast energy about this card. Things are really starting to move you in the right direction with a lot of enthusiasm and passion. Sometimes it can be about having too many things on the go at once, too many options, and with the speed of things moving, potentially by the end of this month, it can, I guess, be a little overwhelming, but you're in a good place. There's kind of a clearness in your life right now, certainly by the end of the month, and you can take off and allow the energy that comes along with that, the energy of the universe, to propel you forward, on whatever kind of creative endeavor or new thing that possibly shows up in your life. Go with that. Don't resist that kind of flow. If there's kind of this whoosh of energy filling you up, maybe you do get that after you've rested, after you've played, after you've filled your cup up, after you feel connected to God. You just feel like on point. You feel fired up and you're like focused as very clear now on what you want to do, what you want to manifest. This is a card about removing all the shit and the distractions and the crap and just going, I'm just going to devote myself to this. I'm going to strike while the iron is hot. It's kind of trusting, it's kind of going with the flow of the current in the river, even though there might be kind of things pushing you here, there and everywhere, and it's like, oh my God, suddenly I've got all these things on. It's great, but it's like, oh my God, and you kind of can't control so much of that, and you just have to trust and let go that this energy is taking you in the right path and the right way. And I think it is. And as I say that, I swear I was not looking at that card, the oracle card on the bottom there being about waterfall and release. But when I just thought about the river and currents kind of taking you places, and I looked at that card, the waterfall, and I'm thinking absolutely. And I'm looking at the blue water on that card, you're kind of going over this side and then down that way and then down that way, and you can't fight it. You can't fight this kind of beautiful energetic force, universal force that is taking you places. You need to release, you need to let go, and you need to flow and go with that, because you've kind of got this new freshness about you, taking you really good places. So I'm now just going to read from that card from this booklet, the Dreamtime Reading Cards. Dreamtime is the Aboriginal Australian spiritual belief system. Beautiful cards visually, and I love the words and meaning behind the cards. So I'm just going to read now about waterfall, which is about release. A waterfall is strong and powerful, and much water flows down its rocky face. There are two waterfalls known as the twin waterfalls near where this author lives. They fall from the Dorigo Plateau into the valley below. Communication involves ideas being shared and discussed. When said with anger, words tumble forward, falling with such force that they can hurt and destroy those around them. Rather than let your emotions explode, allow your emotions and feeling to fall, roll, and flow out freely, almost continuously. Sharing your thoughts, feelings, and ideas is really important at this time, whether through the spoken word or even the written word. You need to communicate the overflowing that the waterfall card indicates you are feeling emotionally at this time. We see that with the Ace of Cups card, this sort of overflowing emotional state of joy, of bliss, but it's like you're kind of struggling to contain that somehow. Do not let your emotions build up. Say how you feel and be honest with those around you. There is the possibility for arguments and emotional outbursts when you pull this card, but just speak honestly and openly and allow others to do the same. The emotions with controlled release flow with strength and purpose. Communication is the gift the waterfall holds. Awesome. Beautiful kind of ending to this reading for the month of July for beautiful Geminis. My moon is in Gemini, so this speaks to me as well. So Gemini, on that note, I'm going to wrap up this reading and thank you all for watching and listening. I hope it's been useful in some way, shape or form. If not, maybe just check out your sun or moon or rising sign, whichever one this isn't, or any other wonderful readers that exist on YouTube. There's some fantastic ones out there. Really inspiring. So thank you for watching and listening. Have a great July, and I hope to see you in August.